Hey pumpkins. There's this stereotype that people who are lower income or have a lower level of social class sometimes call their children really stupid things. And when I was pregnant with my daughter, her dad and I would joke that the name we had chosen for our expecting bundle of joy was Salmonella, Chlamydia, Influenza, E. coli, because we thought that was such a beautiful name. Now, of course, we're joking, but I did go ahead and name my child after a Star Trek actor. Yes, my only child is named after a Star Trek actor. But, this stereotype is still out there, and there's actually a woman in the US whose name is Marijuana Coca-Cola, and certainly saying that in the first minute of this video will probably get it demonetized. And I mention this because currently, someone who has a racial slur for a name is the talk of the town. Another creator who I admire greatly, Shanspeare, won't even say her name. She refers to her as G. Rose Blanchard, and I completely understand why someone wouldn't want to say the G word. The name Gypsy does not mean hippie, it does not mean nomad, it does not mean bohemian. It is a slur used towards the Roma or the Romani people, because it was assumed that these people were originally from Egyptian heritage, and so the Egypt, GYP, became GYPSY as a slur towards them. In 2007, people were paying to go to a Madonna concert, and they booed Madonna because she asked people to stop discriminating and oppressing the Roma people. It seems that in Europe, especially in Eastern Europe, the Romani people are the one racial group, the one ethnic group who it's okay to be racist against still. Probably about 2013, 2014, I was at a party at a friend's house, and we were celebrating that Yasmin had finally passed her midterm for organic chemistry, which is super hard, I understand. But yeah, near the end of October, having a party, I was actually leaving early because I had an event in Toronto where I was reading tarot. And we started talking about Halloween, and one of the women said, "I'm going dressed as a tarot reader." And I said, "Oh, well, I'm a professional tarot reader, and this is what I'm wearing tonight as a pro tarot reader, so how do you mean, how do you dress up as a tarot reader?" And she's like, "Oh, you know, you wear a band or a bandana around your head and lots of flowing fabrics and, you know, lots of bangles and some big earrings," and basically what she was describing was the stereotype of a Roma woman. And so we started talking about this, and Yasmin, who was hosting the party, her boyfriend Peter was Eastern European, and he started saying all these really terrible things about his views of the Roma people, and how they were all committing fraud, how they were all dirty, how they were wrecking neighborhoods, and all this stuff, which, you know, is kind of racist. Even to this very day, the city of Toronto, Canada, one of the most progressive and diverse cities in the entire world, has a curfew on the Roma people. I will leave a link to that below because that is true. There is no other ethnic group that has a curfew, but the Romani people need to be indoors by 9 p.m. or be arrested by the police. This is wrong. So it seems that it's okay to be racist against the Roma in so many contexts. Now, it is my belief, which I need to do some more work on researching, and I will deep dive at some point, that some of the hatred that the atheist community has towards tarot readers doesn't come from the fact that they read tarot, which they don't believe in, but has far more to do with roots of racism towards the Romani people and the Romani stereotype of being associated with tarot. Why are the Roma people associated with tarot? Because due to increased racism, the Roma people have fewer employment opportunities, and so as a result, they need to engage in some self-employment, which, you know, reading a deck of tarot cards doesn't have a lot of overhead. So this is kind of why that stereotype evolved, and of course, because many people believe that the Roma people are by nature swindlers or fraudulent, and many people don't understand tarot and believe it to be fraudulent and believe it to be sinister and believe it to be sneaky, they associate the Roma with tarot. I've had two guests on my channel who are of Romani descent. Lorian Rowan, who I've mentioned grew up in Toronto being spit on by her neighbors because she was Roma. She's actually, her family's actually quite wealthy in the business world, but she experienced a lot of racism from the Eastern European people in her neighborhood. And I also had Lisa Boswell on, who's a third-generation tarot reader. So these stereotypes do exist, these problems still do exist, and the word GYPSY has been used as a way to oppress the Roma or Romani people. I have decided that I don't say the G word because that is not a word that we use in polite conversation. It is not as bad as the N word because I don't think someone would call their kid the N word. But certainly there are other racial slurs that are used towards other racial groups and minorities and oppressed people that people might more accurately compare to GYPSY. So when I'm talking about the racial group and the slur, I will spell it, but I will say the name Gypsy Rose Blanchard because it is not her fault. Someone gave her that name. Her mom gave her that name because her mom didn't know better. It might sound like a pretty word, and like I said, many people think that it means nomadic, that it means like hippie, or it means bohemian, but it doesn't. It is a racial slur. And one of the reasons I'm speaking out about this, and one of the reasons why I'm really bothered by it, is because Gypsy Rose Blanchard is in the news so much. The name is gaining traction. I believe that Rachel Garlick, Gypsy Rose's prison mate, actually named her young daughter Gypsy after Gypsy Rose. Dude, why? And I mean, it's not calling your kid the N-word, but you might as well call your child, I don't know, Salmonella, Chlamydia, Influenza, E. coli, because it sounds beautiful. It is my belief that for Dee Dee Blanchard to choose to call her daughter Gypsy is just another instance of abuse that she piled onto her daughter. And I am gobsmacked that people are now calling their kid Gypsy Rose. I should do a tarot reading about Gypsy Rose soon. But yeah, I wanted to get that out of the way. Please don't call your kid a racial slur. Please don't call your kid something stupid. But then again, I named my child after a Star Trek character, so what do I have to say? Like and subscribe. I have so many more videos that are coming, and a lot of them are going to be here at the Burlington waterfront. So if you are in the Halton region in Ontario, Canada, come by for a reading. Like anytime the weather's nice, I'm probably going to be out here reading tarot. I hope you have a wonderful, fantastic day, and may you pray with a good fire. Bye, pumpkins.